Hello, my long-abandoned Deep Rock Galactic viewers. A while back, I finally got my hands on Rogue Core's Early Access, and I'm finally ready to share my thoughts. I'm not going to delay any longer. I know you're all eager to hear about it, so let's dive right in. First off, I wanted to address one of the biggest concerns I've seen circling around this game ever since it was first announced. Just how similar is Rogue Core to the original game? After playing it for a couple missions, I can say that you are definitely going to feel the difference between the two. Obviously, there's a lot of similarities, but they've done a few things to set it apart. First of all, the movement feels different. I wish I could give more specifics, but I don't know what the exact values are. It definitely felt like the movement has been ever so slightly tweaked. Another big factor is that falling now gives you the stunned status effect. Even if you don't take fall damage, you'll get slowed down for a second or two if you fall from too high. This makes careful movement even more important than ever before. That might sound bad, but honestly, I really like it because it changes how you approach movement. As someone who's so used to the movement in Deep Rock Galactic that it's instinctual to me, I really enjoy having to put more thought into where and when I jumped. Another key thing, this game is built for multiplayer. Deep Rock is best enjoyed when in multiplayer, but Rogue Core is currently borderline unplayable in single player. Let's put it this way, I can usually handle solo Hazard 4 pretty easily. The easiest mission in Rogue Core was still very stressful for me. The switch from shields to armor makes every mistake extremely punishing, so a single attack can put you at a huge disadvantage. Maybe this will be changed later, but I absolutely do not recommend doing solo missions. Ultimately, it's going to detract from your experience. This could also be partly due to how randomization plays a much bigger role in how good your build is. Regardless, the game is a noticeable step up in difficulty, at least in my experience. This game is also different because it's moved away from the classes having specific utility roles. Instead, classes are entirely focused on their role in combat. The gear you get at the start is randomized, so unlike DRG, you don't know what your role is until you're in the mission. And NG knows it's their job to place platforms for Scout, but in this game, that's only a factor if you decide to take the platform gun. It makes it so you have to be much more adaptable when playing. Also, due to the nature of how upgrades work, and how you pick one of 4 possible choices, you need to communicate a lot more with your team. This has a lot of pros and cons. On one hand, it feels really great to work as a team and to plan out your builds together. On the other, I can already hear the screaming from people when you take an upgrade that's good for their build. I do think that as people start to learn more about how the classes work, that will die down. Once you know what upgrades are good for which person, hopefully you'll be willing to let them take what works best for their build. Speaking of the classes, let's take a look at them. Part of why this video took so long to get out is because I wanted some experience with all the classes before I talked about them. Let's dive into what each class brings to the table. The Falconeer is the class I was the most excited to try, and she did not disappoint. The Robot Falcon is cool as hell, and it's a lot of fun playing into the electricity damaged focused builds. It's also very cool to rescue teammates from a distance. She's a great support class, probably one of the most interesting and versatile support characters I've seen in a long time. The Spotter is another very interesting class. I love builds in games that focus on critical hits, and the Spotter is perfect for that. His abilities work really well for solo, but also are extremely useful for your team, letting you mark enemies to help maximize your fellow Reclaimers' damage, or tossing out extra ammo, which is extremely important. If you get a high accuracy weapon, you can do insane damage. The Guardian is very simple but fun, focusing on stunning enemies and dealing AoE damage. He's a very good character due to his ability to protect himself and others. He can regenerate armor and force enemies to move away, which are both options the classes sorely lack. Combine that with his strong focus on AoE and you can easily handle massive groups of enemies. In my humble opinion, the Slicer is one of the best classes in the game, purely due to his devastating melee damage. Fans have been begging for a melee character for years, and while he's not pure melee, he more than lives up to the dreams. Much like Guardian, he's very simple, but sometimes simplicity is best. Honestly, if I could sneak a small complaint in here, it's unfortunate how much better Guardian and Slicer are than the other classes, purely because the rest do not have options to escape swarms when they get surrounded. I'm not sure how to fix this, but it's something I really noticed. The newest class is the Retcon. This one is very interesting, although to be honest, I still don't really understand how they work. They can essentially rewind to a preset position, sort of like what Tracer from Overwatch can do. It's an interesting mechanic, but the upgrades you can get seem a little all over the place. I probably need more experience with the character, but I'm not sure how to play them yet. Honestly, I kind of feel like they need a bit of a clearer identity from a game mechanic perspective. Overall, the classes are really well done. There's a lot of cool abilities and they synergize with each other really well, although I never expected anything less from Ghost Ship games. They all feel pretty solid so far, except for the retcon, but that could be a skill issue on my part. While I'm sure there's a lot left to do, the core gameplay feels really solid at this point. That being said, I do have a comment to make about the upgrade system. You get points by clearing missions, and you use these to unlock perks, kind of like in Deep Rock, except you get to have 8 of them and they're all passive. Getting these points takes an extremely long time. You only get about 2 or 3 per mission, though clearing higher difficulty missions can earn you more. I'm just a bit concerned with how many points you will need to upgrade all your abilities, and how important these perks are given the difficulty of Rogue Core. Now before we wrap up, I also wanted to talk about the weapons added to the game. I am so glad the team finally has the chance to make new weapons again. It has become a massive pain for them to add new weapons to Deep Rock due to needing to make overclocks and upgrades. Here, they can do whatever they want, and man is it awesome. I feel like I've only seen a small portion of the new guns, but what I have seen was a lot of fun, and always brought something new to the table. Even guns that are similar to each other bring something unique, and I know a big part of the enjoyment is going to be trying out all these amazing new weapons. Overall, I had a fantastic time with the game. It still has a while to go before it's in the same state as Deep Rock, but I really feel like they have something solid here. I know a lot of fans were worried about how similar the two games were, and how Deep Rock was left abandoned for a little while, but with some experience playing Rogue Core and a new update for the base game on the horizon, I can safely say that next year is going to be massive for Deep Rock Galactic. I know this video was a little short, so if there's anything you want to hear about the playtest, leave a comment and we can chat about it. I might even make a video based on the feedback I get. With all that being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.